In this section, we're going to look at the sales process within MYOB Advanced. Now, the best way to highlight this is under our distribution and sales order area, and if I click on this sales order form, we can see the actual sales order itself. Now, within MYOB Advanced, the sales order process is driven by what we call our order types. And our order types is the ability to allow your business to work out how you actually generate your sales and how you process your sales. So in the example of using a sales order type, that would be used for a sales and shipment based business, which means that you raise sales orders and then ship them directly out. Or you could actually use a cash sale option, which allows you to take money at the time on the sales order, and instead of generating a picking slip, you can just take the stock out of your store and just give it straight across the counter. Now, you can use different variations and you can use more than one order type if you need, based on your business, so it means it's fully flexible to handle how you actually trade. Now, also you can use a customer portal, which is another element within the system, and that means that you can add contacts for your customers and make them give them access to the customer portal to raise their own orders, which directly come into the system. Now, another element that you can do as well is, if you want to actually do things like drop ships or purchasing to order, you can actually mark each individual line. So for example, if you haven't got any stock, you could raise and say purchase to order to bring it in and then ship it, or I can raise a drop shipment which then sends it off to your supplier to then supply the customer directly. Now, when it comes to actually generating and adding them into the system, you can simply either add in a single sales order, and you can also use this feature called add stock item, which from here I can actually pick out a warehouse, so Auckland for example, and I can then see what stock I've currently got to sell to this customer, or I can even go sold since, and that allows me then just to pick and see what they actually bought from us. So you can see from here that this external hard drive, they bought 3 of them in August of 2015. So we can actually see a history based on what they've previously ordered from us. Now, like I said before, when you raise a sales order, you can either raise it singular, or I can upload via this load records from file. So if they've provided a CSV file or an Excel file, I can just load it in via that. Or we can utilize our system integration area, which allows us to import en masse multiple orders, or we could even use our API to feed it in from other systems if we need to. Now, the system will also work with Magento. There is an add-on that actually ties into any websites that use the Magento system. Now, when it comes to actually shipping, we can simply create a single shipment directly from an order, but what we can also do is, from this Processes tab, if I click on Process Orders, this is where MYOB Advanced comes into its own. Now, the reason I say this is, from this screen I can simply pick out a single warehouse, Auckland in this case, or if I choose to, I can actually pick out a single customer, so right corners, and if I go process all, it would generate a single shipment or multiple shipments based on what you've set up. Now, the beauty of this is that if I use this add automation, it now allows me to then say that every hour I can then generate a shipment, and you can see that it'll generate a shipment for right corn, and we can save that if we choose to, and that will run behind the scenes. Now, also, if you add into that I can then go to the process shipments area and print off pick lists or labels, or even a shipment confirmation to add to the boxes that are going out. Now, like I said before, this is yet again automatable, so we can actually add that in, and it means that it will generate them for you and send them through to your warehouse. Now, the last step of it as well is we can then process our invoices, and we can then choose to email them out directly once we've actually confirmed the shipment in the warehouse itself. Now, all of this is obviously good to know because it means that you can speed up the process and actually give you back extra time in the process that you would normally have to manually do. Now, the other thing I just want to point out when it comes to the sales process is the CRM system. Now, within MYOB Advanced, we have the ability to actually use our customer management area, which is the CRM package within our software. Now, this means that we can actually generate leads, so we can generate and monitor leads. So, for example, Keith Abbott, we can import these directly into the system or enter them in manually, and then from here I can assign them what we call a lead class, which triggers a list of questions to be answered by whoever's processing these leads. So in this instance, you can see that we have what industry, number of employees, what are they looking for. Now, these attributes can then be changed based on what type of class we have. Now, from here, a lead can then be converted to be a contact within an existing business, or they can be generated into what we call a business account, which is in essence a prospect. Now, from that, we can then generate an opportunity, and that means that we can go in and we can actually generate an opportunity for this business account, so for O'Neill's Trading, and we can then add in certain information, but we can also assign it a class ID, so an opportunity class ID in this case, which is hardware, and yet again there are attributes based on that class. So what operating system are they using, and what type of hardware do they actually want? Now, from here I can then choose under the products tab to give them a more defined price based on what they've asked for. So I can see that they've asked for a server and a couple of desktops, and then from that I can then raise activities to monitor and track my contact for this opportunity. Now, if they then call up and say we'd like to go ahead with that, we can then convert it and create a sales order within our distribution area. Now, this just means that you can track all of your opportunities and then convert them across. Now, the other thing that you can do as well is the system has a simplified marketing campaigns area, and that means that I can generate a marketing campaign and actually track how many leads are against that marketing campaign, or in fact how many opportunities have we got and how many opportunities have actually been converted into sales orders.